Welcome to our brand new Formula One channel. If you're passionate about F1 and love staying ahead of the curve, you're in the right place. This is where we break down the latest insights, strategies, and stories from the world of Formula One. Before we dive in, did you know that viewers who subscribe to channels like this are 3 times more likely to stay updated on F1's most exciting developments? Hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss any of our deep dives, race previews, and exclusive analysis. Now let's get into today's topic, the thrilling world of Formula One. Whether you're new to the sport or just curious about what makes it so captivating, you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, we'll take you through the basics of Formula One. What it is, its rich history, the teams, drivers, points system, and more. So buckle up and let's hit the track. Formula One, or F1, is the pinnacle of motorsport. It's a global racing series where teams and drivers compete in high-performance single-seater cars. These cars are the fastest and most technologically advanced in the world, capable of reaching speeds over 220 miles per hour or 354 kilometers per hour. However, F1 isn't just about speed. It's a mix of strategy, engineering brilliance, and intense driver skill. F1's journey began in 1950 with its first World Championship race at Silverstone, UK. Over the decades, the sport has evolved dramatically, becoming a showcase of innovation and global competition. Iconic teams like Ferrari and drivers such as Juan Manuel Fangio, who won 5 world titles in the 1950s, laid the foundation for the sport we know today. F1 is as much about the teams as it is about the drivers. Some of the most successful teams in F1 history include Scuderia Ferrari. It is owned by the famous Italian company and is the oldest and most iconic team in F1 with 16 Constructors' Championships. Williams. It is a British team that was a dominant force in the 80s and 90s, winning 9 Constructors' Championships. While it is currently a backmarker, the team has shown signs of improvement under new American owners. McLaren. It is another British team that is known for legendary drivers like Ayrton Senna, as well as introducing Lewis Hamilton to Formula One. It is the current F1 champion, having won the 2024 title, and a total of 9 Constructors' Championships. Mercedes-AMG. It is a team owned by the luxury German car maker, and has dominated the hybrid era, winning 8 consecutive Constructors' titles from 2014 to 2021. Red Bull Racing. It is a relatively newer team owned by the Austrian energy drink company, but is already a powerhouse with 6 Constructors' Championships, thanks to their cutting-edge design and iconic drivers like Sebastian Vettel, and now Max Verstappen. Honorary mention for a top team that doesn't exist anymore is Lotus, who also won 6 Constructors' Championships. It will certainly be great to see this team back someday. The 2025 F1 grid features 10 teams, each with 2 drivers. Apart from the 5 teams mentioned earlier, there are 5 more teams that complete the grid today, with an extra team set to join in 2026. Aston Martin, primarily owned by billionaire Lawrence Stroll, with a connection to the British Marque brand with the same name. Alpine, owned by French automotive giant Renault. Haas, the only fully American brand at the moment owned by racing magnate Gene Haas. VCarb, also known as Racing Bulls or RB, is a feeder team owned by Red Bull. Yes, that's legal in F1. Kick Sauber, a team that is in a 2-year transition period from Alfa Romeo as named sponsors to Audi as owners of the team. In addition, Cadillac, the second fully American team, will be on the grid from 2026 and will be owned by GM in its partnership with Andretti. Each team designs and develops their own car, which adds to the competition's uniqueness. There is a demand from many enthusiasts, including yours truly, for a 12th team to complete the grid, but we will have to wait and watch what the F1 honchos decide. Formula One is truly a global sport, with 24 races held across 5 continents, with the notable but sad exception of Africa. It attracts millions of fans, both at the tracks and through broadcasts in over 200 countries. Iconic circuits like Monaco, Silverstone, Monza, and Spa-Francorchamps have become legendary. While new tracks in places like the USA and the Middle East have expanded its reach significantly, even though it created controversies due to closing iconic races like the German and French Grand Prix. Over the years, Formula One has produced some of the greatest drivers in motorsport history. Juan Manuel Fangio. The Argentine was a 5-time world champion and an early Formula One icon who helped build Formula One to a giant it has become today. Ayrton Senna. The Brazilian is considered one of the greatest by many and was known for his incredible skills. His unfortunate passing due to a racing accident is probably the only reason why he is not at the top of the driver champions list. Michael Schumacher. The German is a record 7-time world champion and helped cement Ferrari as the greatest team ever without doubt. Michael is my hero, and I will not get into an argument about whether he is greater or the next gentleman on the list. Lewis Hamilton. This British driver is another 7-time champion, dominating the modern era. He controversially lost out on an 8th championship in the last lap to Max Verstappen in 2021. Hence, keeping the greatest ever debate lingering. Lewis is still racing at 40 and is moving to Ferrari from Mercedes, so keep an eye on him trying to get that coveted 8th crown before retiring. Niki Lauda, Alain Prost, and Sebastian Vettel are also names etched in Formula One history, but maybe that's a topic for another time. Today's grid is stacked with talent. Apart from Lewis, here are some names to watch out for. Max Verstappen. The Flying Dutchman is a dominant force today, and probably should have been in the legendary list already with consecutive 4-time world championships with Red Bull. But with age on his side, watch out for him winning again in 2025. There is a video coming up on why Red Bull will dominate 2025, so watch out for that. Charles Leclerc. The first person from Monaco to win the iconic Monaco Grand Prix, he is Ferrari's rising star and considered by many as a future world champion. With Ferrari signing Lewis Hamilton, Charles will have his task cut out. But having beaten another legendary driver, Sebastian Vettel, earlier in his career, Charles will be confident of the new challenge. Lando Norris. The British driver helped McLaren clinch its 9th crown with a phenomenal 2024 season and is one of the drivers who could beat Max in 2025. Fernando Alonso. The Spanish veteran is a 2-time world champion who proves age is just a number with Aston Martin. With legendary designer Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull for Aston Martin in 2025, do not count out a miracle from this man. My personal favorite is, of course, Max Verstappen, but I would love to see Ferrari winning the Constructors, and will be equally happy to see Charles winning the World Drivers' Championship instead of Max, as I think he is the most deserving person on the grid yet to win a championship. In Formula One, there are 24 races planned for 2025, with some of them having a sprint and a main race, while the rest have only the main race. The main race is always held on a Sunday, with Las Vegas being the only exception, and sprint races are held on Saturdays. Each race is preceded by a qualifying event, and the grid placement is decided by who has the fastest lap in this qualifying event. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and join us for more content. See you on the grid.